here to present SB 12, which will create the California Immigrant and Refugee Affairs Agency to help meet the needs of our state's large immigrant and refugee population. As we all know, California is home to over 10 million immigrant communities who have significantly contributed to the Golden State's thriving economy. We've been working on this Immigrant Affairs Agency for some time, Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, Agency for some time, and we want to make sure that we have a sort of a concerted effort in the state government to be able to support these incredible communities. The agency will follow the example of numerous states and cities who currently provide similar government touchpoints for these communities and will help California stand as a beacon of support for a population that is unfortunately under constant threat. I think I was just reading on the LA Times today. There's Southeast Asian community, which is a Cambodian community that I represent in Long Beach, being targeted today by federal agents. And testifying in support, I have Dr. Amada Armenta, Faculty Director at the Latino Politics and Policy Institute at UCLA, as well as Dr. Jane Pack, Co-Executive Director at Refugee and Immigrant Transitions and Adjunct Professor at the University of San Francisco. And then for technical support, we have Cynthia Gomez from CHIRLA.
Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Dr. Amada Armenta, a UCLA faculty member and the director of UCLA's Latino Policy and Politics Institute. Here to express my strong support for SB 12, which will promote the full inclusion of over 10 million immigrants in California. We have the good fortune of being the world's 5th largest economy, and this is really because of the tremendous power that immigrants bring to our state. Their contributions account for about 1/3 of California's total GDP. Immigrants also represent 1/3 of California's labor force and are overrepresented in essential sectors that we all rely on. For example, 46% of all health aides in our state are foreign-born. It's for this reason that immigrant workers are often referred to as California's second responders, those that keep us afloat during and after disasters. That's what we saw during COVID, and it's what we're seeing in LA during recovery efforts. But despite their contributions, immigrants are often left out of some programs, and they underutilize state programs for which they and their children are entitled. This matters because in California, almost half of all kids have an immigrant parent, and 1 in 5 are part of mixed status families. Now, a statewide office would help close these gaps and provide essential services, particularly in states and regions that don't have an Office of Immigrant or Refugee Affairs. And research shows that despite our tremendous political polarization, offices of immigrant affairs enjoy strong bipartisan support, something that's not true for almost any other political issue. So at a time when the federal government is attacking immigrant communities, we urge your support for SB 12. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next witness.
Good morning, Chair and Senators. Thank you for the opportunity to provide a testimony this morning. My name is Jane Pack, and I am Co-Executive Director at Refugee and Immigrant Transitions. We're an educational CBO in the Bay Area. At RIT, we partner with refugees and immigrants from 40 countries around the world, people of all statuses, all places of origin, languages spoken, religions, genders, and identities not often represented in one space. Many of us on staff are immigrants or former refugees ourselves. I, for example, an immigrant from still the country of Canada and a child of refugees. I'm also an adjunct professor at the University of San Francisco and hold a public seat on the State Advisory Council at the Refugee Program Bureau. I share my multiple positionalities because it's through my work, scholarship, and personal experiences that I continue to witness how outdated immigration laws manifest in persistent inequities in the lives of immigrants and refugees. In California, we offer strong programs and supports as people build their lives, rebuild their livelihoods, and communities. However, programs and policies are sometimes inaccessible due to eligibility criteria based on inequitable pathways. At RIT, we see daily systemic inequities, barriers, and gaps that prevent the full realization of well-intended policies and programs. SB 12 offers an opportunity to coordinate programs and policies on a statewide level, helping to bridge these gaps and ultimately address systemic inequities. SB 12 would also be inclusive of the spectra of diversities that make up the 27% of California's population who are foreign-born and almost 50%, as formerly referenced, of children who have at least one immigrant parent. At this time, especially as the federal administration dismantles the infrastructure of supports for refugees and immigrants and society at large in many cases, California has an opportunity to shape a brighter future for all Californians. SB 12 is one way to do just that. Thank you very much.